Hey guys, real quick, I'm going to show you the next modification I'm going to do to my WaterQuest 10.2 boat. Now this is a little small camouflage boat you may have seen on my channel. This is the Mud-skipper mud motor kit that you attach to a motor. And I have an air-cooled motor that I'm going to attach it to. I believe this is going to work good. All the reviews look pretty good, but I did purchase the Twister. This is the Twister Lite. I believe this thing is like 45 inches long, and what the other option would be the long tail was, I think, 80 inches long. That's with the Mud-skipper brand, and it feels pretty solid. I believe this is the lightest model, and I think they said it's around 40 pounds, a little under 40 pounds. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and attach this to this motor. This is the Predator 212cc. They rated it 6.5 horsepower, and it is from Harbor Freight. The first thing I did was attach the transom mount to the transom. I had to loosen the hex bolts all the way, and it was very tight fit. I used the rubber handle on my hammer to seat the transom mount all the way, and once it was seated, I was able to tighten up the bolts. A transom post bearing was supplied in the Mud-skipper kit. After applying a small amount of marine grease to the bearing and to the transom post, I slid the transom post bearing over the transom post. Next, I slid the engine base down over the transom post. Loosening the screws in the side of the engine base will allow it to slide all the way down on top of the transom bearing. I then attached the tiller handle to the engine base using the threaded locking bar. The tiller handle can be placed on either the right or left side, and it is adjustable up or down. You can adjust the tiller handle by loosening the locking bar and choosing your desired height. Once you get the desired height, make sure the teeth line up and then retighten the locking bar. I placed the engine on the engine base, making sure the 4 holes lined up. I used the 4 provided nuts and bolts to attach the engine to the engine base. There is a PTO ring provided with the kit. The PTO ring should be slid to the back of the PTO shaft. Once the PTO ring is installed, turn the PTO shaft so that the keyway is at the top. Place the provided key into the keyway slot. Next, remove the 2 steel clamps with nuts, bolts, and washers from the engine base frame. These will be used later to hold the tail in place. Apply a small amount of marine grease to the PTO shaft to assist in attaching the tail assembly. Before attaching the tail assembly, look inside the PTO housing to make sure the keyway inside the female end is at the top or at 12 o'clock so that it matches up with the PTO shaft. Then slide the PTO housing over the PTO shaft. You should feel the key line up with the keyway, and at that time the PTO housing should go all the way to the motor. Now use the 4 provided bolts to secure the tail to the motor. Replace the 2 clamps on the tail using the bolts, nuts, and washers that were removed earlier. Install the safety kill switch to the tiller with the 4 screws provided. There are 3 screws that need to be removed so that you can install 3 grease fittings. The first grease fitting should go in the PTO housing. The next grease fitting should replace the lower screw on the transom post, and the final fitting should be installed midway down the tail. Remove the air filter cover, and air filter base to get full access to the throttle area. Once you have access, then route the cable through the stop nut and pull it tight using a pair of pliers. While holding the cable tight, tighten down the hex screw in the top of the stop nut with a slotted screwdriver. All right, guys, that's it. I just want to show you how I assembled the Mud-skipper Twister, attached it to the Predator 212, and then put that on the WaterQuest 10.2. The WaterQuest 10.2 is actually a bass tender 10.2, according to the tag here, and it's a 1993 model, I believe it is. It's a really cool little boat. It's the first camo boat I've ever seen like this, so I'm going to hang on to it for a while. This thing works really good. I did put it in the water, and I do have some videos coming up really soon of my test run with this and my oldest son in the water there in one of the local lakes. Also, check back later. I'm going to have several videos of the boat where I've modified. I'll show you all the modifications I've done to it, the extra stuff I put on it, and also I'm hoping to get the kids out in the local lakes and do some fishing, one at a time, of course, but hopefully we'll get them out there again and do some more fishing. I'm also going to do some modifications to this motor. I'm not going to change the way it performs, but I'll probably do some painting or something to some of this stuff to help make it match my camo boat. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and as always, have a great day.